we welcome back Kansas Senator Roger Marshall and House members Byron Donalds of Florida, and I'm going to say the great Claudia Tenney of New York. There they are. Thanks to all of us. I'm glad you got a laugh out of that. Senator Marshall, I begin with you. There's so many thoughts here. The fact that Biden did this is no big surprise. The fact that he did do it is a rather mendacious lie. But the thing is, Senator Marshall, it's interesting to me, the broad scope of this, 2014 to 2016, no, to 2024, rather. First thing, when I heard that last evening, I said to myself, well, that's an admission of guilt. That's an admission of guilt. All the things that the House has been looking at and the Senate has been looking at, you know, there it is. He's covering 2014 to 2024. In other words, from Burisma on to finance the Biden family crime syndicate. That's the way I look at it. Now, he's going to get off. OK, it's presidential prerogative to do that. But isn't that sort of kind of really what's going on here? That all the things you all have been going after, I think this pardon proves that you were right.
Yep. Yeah, Larry. So certainly the first thing I did when I went back to 2014, what did we all see? The Biden corrupt family, the crime family, involvement with Burisma. Burisma is the key to this, and tracing that money to the big guy, right? How else did the Biden family afford all these wonderful, beautiful homes, living an extravagant lifestyle? It all goes back to this Burisma. So more than just pardoning Hunter Biden, he's trying to prevent any type of further investigation that's going to lead back to him. But that's why our job in the House and the Senate, now we can subpoena Hunter Biden, and he can't take the fifth anymore. So we've got work to do.
Well, Claudia, you know, the thing that always interested me the most, Byron, I'm coming to you, buddy. Don't get lonely out there. But I want to go to Claudia, the great Claudia Tenney, of course. Claudia, the thing about this that's so interesting to me, the tax evasion. Okay, the gun charge, you know, he shouldn't have done it. He may have been in the throes of his addiction and so forth, and I'm very happy that he may be 5 years sober. I'm very happy about that. But tax evasion probably would have, if we'd gone to trial in Los Angeles or whatever it is, Central California, that would have uncovered, I think, all of the influence peddling fees from Burisma, from Russia, from the Ukraine, all the other places. That would have shown, you remember these little LLCs each Biden family member had, and of course it all trickled up to Papa Biden. I mean, I think that's what, they did not want any sort of a trial. They did not want anything to do with tax evasion, because tax evasion would have led them right down the road that actually was happening. That, in fact, it was financed.
Well, exactly, and that's why...
Yeah, go for it.
That's right, Larry. We had the whistleblowers appear in front of the Ways and Means Committee, and they've been out publicly now. They've been trying to condemn them, you know, the government, the IRS, insiders. But remember, this is the thing that's so bad about this Biden situation is it is the most sweeping pardon in history since Nixon. But you could say this: Nixon was charged with the cover-up, not the crime. The Bidens were engaged in the actual crime. They were committing the crime. And the other thing is the U.S. attorney allowed, and the DOJ allowed, all this evidence that we're talking about from Burisma that Senator Roger Marshall just mentioned, 2014, 2015, they allowed the statute of limitations to run so that we couldn't even get at the worst of the tax evasion, so you could see where the money was flowing to all these corrupt entities. By the way, every one of them named after the Finger Lakes in my district. But that's another side.
That's a different segment.
Going on. And by the way, interesting though, the U.S. Attorney David Weiss today, just maybe an hour ago, I just grabbed the line out of the brief, just filed a motion to dismiss the request for pardon. So they're going to fight this. They're saying that this is not something that's going to happen. So it's very interesting that that's going to, you know, look, pardons can be as broad as possible. But the scandalous nature of this pardon is like nothing we've ever seen in American history. We have never seen such a corrupt family. And this is why these whistleblowers and everything we've done on the Ways and Means Committee, everything they've done on oversight is really, really important. And I know Byron's going to add a lot of insight to this as well, because he serves on that committee.
I want to, Byron, you can put in as much more detail as you want, because you're Byron. But here's my other thought, okay? In all seriousness, this mendacious lie, this Biden syndicate, phony, illegal financing and so forth, cries out for a guy like Kash Patel to clean the stables at the FBI, Byron, and also my very dear friend, the wonderful Pam Bondi, to clean out the stables at the Justice Department. And I'm so annoyed at some of my conservative cousins, at least in one newspaper who will go unmentioned here, who think that putting in Kash Patel is, you know, some act of retribution. That couldn't be further from the truth. He, Bondi, John Radcliffe, who's going to do it at CIA, President Trump, who got a mandate to do it. They want to clean out the corruption and get back to a fair administration of justice instead of the awful lawfare weaponization we've had, Byron. That's my thought. This cries out for Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and John Radcliffe, Byron.
Well, Larry, I don't have much to add in terms of detail. It's been covered. But let's be very clear. Hunter Biden avoided paying taxes with money that he earned, quote unquote, because of his dad's involvement at the top of our politics. It was the essence of pay to play. Now Joe Biden is finally coming in to clean up the mess that Hunter Biden created. It's tax evasion. I don't want to hear Democrats lecture us about anybody paying their fair share anymore, Larry, because the president's own son was not paying his fair share. He was evading the taxes. But what does it mean for where we go forward? Kash Patel, you're exactly right. John Radcliffe, Pam Bondi, their job is exceptional right now because they have to clean out the political brass at these agencies. If these agencies are going to survive, as well as the constitutional republic that is the United States of America, our agencies cannot be political. They cannot just be covering up. They have to do their jobs for good or for better or for worse, for everybody in our country. That's the bottom line. The American people want agencies that are doing their job, upholding the Constitution and upholding the rule of law, not picking and choosing when they're going to apply the law, because our country will not survive that. That's why Donald Trump has made these appointments. He has the mandate to do it. He's doing it as we speak, and the people he has chosen are going to do the hard work but necessary work of cleaning out these agencies and restoring them to their former glory.
Senator Marshall, I'm coming to you in a second, but I want to play some sound from President-elect Trump. Listen to the tape, please, sir.
What they've done is use the FBI and they've used the Department of Injustice to go after the political opponent, and it has never been done in this country. And people say, am I going to do that? And the answer is no, I don't want to do that, or whatever, but I don't want to do it with Hunter either. And I'll bet you the father probably pardons him. I don't want to hurt people. I really don't.
I mean, that's a pretty good summary, Senator Marshall. It's very interesting. That's what President Trump, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or sometime shortly after the landslide election that he got. But the point is, this is a time for cleansing. This is a time to restore our legal system. And it's very, you know, the Justice Department is a very important department, okay? It helps to stop crime. The FBI is a very important agency to investigate and stop crime. The CIA is another one to investigate and explore crime on the international front and any kind of terrorism to damage our security. There's long overdue, Senator Marshall, it seems to me, long overdue. That's the key point. We could spend 3 hours beating up on Biden for this veto, for this pardon, rather, and all the things that go with it. But to say what Byron said about looking ahead, which is what I'm particularly interested in, I think Trump is exactly right. He will straighten out and cleanse this badly soiled system, and that's exactly what Americans want. And Trump's ratings, favorable ratings, will go up 20 points as he does this. Don't you? I mean, 20 points. If I'm wrong, his ratings will go up 30 points because people know how corrupt and badly soiled. I mean, think of it. J. Edgar Hoover, in some sense, was a piker. All he had was a drawer full of sex pictures. These other guys played for keeps. Anyway, what do you think, Senator?
You know, on November 5th, the American people said we do not trust the FBI, that it's been weaponized, that we need a change, we need to clean the house. Director Wray has been there. He's been responsible for that. He's overseen all of it. It's time for a big change. Kash Patel is the person to do it. He's a man of integrity. He's a person that believes in truth and justice. He has an incredible resume, and he'll have the backing, I believe, of the full Senate when he comes through this process. We look forward to supporting him and making America great again.
You know, I tell you what, yes, sir, thank you for that. Claudia, I'm unabashedly for Kash Patel. I make no bones about it. He is a friend of mine. He's been a fabulous contributor to this television show. He's been a fabulous contributor to the radio show that all of you have come on and so forth. But I just think you listen to what Kash, his experience, to me, the criticisms of him from both the left and the right are just a bunch of nitpicking, okay? They're a bunch of ankle biting because everybody knows he's a tough guy with vast experience, Claudia. That's why I'm pushing him and endorsing him on the show. And what are you thinking about this now?
I think he's great. I mean, he's fantastic. When he worked with Devin Nunes, he's the one that actually put out the famous Devin Nunes memo that gave line by line, gave everybody the breadcrumbs to exactly what Adam Schiff and Hillary Clinton and all these people were doing under Obama, trying to frame President Trump and destroy his presidency. And remember, when you get back to all this forgiveness from President Trump, he forgave Hillary Clinton, Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, all those people, McCabe. All those people should have been prosecuted. I do think it's a bridge. I know Trump wants to be sympathetic to Hunter Biden, but let me tell you, David Weiss, in his brief that he put out today, he's not sympathetic to Hunter Biden. Let me paraphrase. He said 11 Article III judges appointed by 6 different presidents don't buy the argument that Biden is making, saying, oh, this was an attack on and vindictiveness against Hunter Biden. These whistleblowers were not political. They disclosed, they were the beginning of disclosing this horrible miscarriage of justice, unequal justice under law that we're seeing in all these agencies. That's why I love Kash Patel. I love all the picks. We're seeing Pam Bondi, John Ratcliffe. This is going to be an amazing team. The people in our country want accountability. It isn't just Republicans. Everybody wants accountability. Some of those people are criticizing Kash Patel, Larry. I don't know. I think he's going to be fabulous. He's brilliant, and he's strong, and he's going to do the job.
So far, what I've seen, both from the left and the right on Kash, Byron, I'll give you the last word, just a little bit of time. And by the way, thanks, Claudia, for reminding us that it was Kash Patel who assisted Devin Nunes and busted the Russia hoax business. But, you know, Byron, we'll follow this story to see what David Weiss can and cannot do. We will follow that. But I just think, Byron, you know, my hat's off to you because your instinct in the first question I asked you was to look ahead. And I think that's the key point. Let us look ahead. The country has given Mr. Trump basically a landslide mandate to change the economy, to change the border, to stop the crime and so forth, and to change the perversion of the justice system, Byron. You know, people want to live safely and calmly without it. Give you the last word, sir.
For people who are clutching their pearls about Kash Patel and any other picks by Donald Trump, it's about fixing our nation first, second, and third. President Trump says it best: success will be our retribution.
There you go.
Success for the American people, success for our country, both here and abroad.
I don't know. Terrific stuff, panel. Claudia, I got to give a great there for Byron Donalds. I got to give him one great on the show. You always get a good grade.
That's amazing. And he never disappoints.
I know. He never disappoints. Neither do you. And Senator Roger Marshall, thank you ever so much for what you're cooking up in the Senate. We appreciate it. All right, folks, coming up.